episode 9 of the Fake Football Guy Show.
Holy crap, 9?
9, baby, 9.
Whoa.
My name is Giancarlo Campos, and alongside me is my co-host, Dustin Lingerman. DL, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Well, I'm lying because my heart is broken. The Bears lost at the very end of last quarter. There's so much to unpack there. I'm not going to go into it, but all I got to say is the refs of that game fucking sucked.
Yeah, those weren't the best refs, that's for sure. As always, running the board is Brandon Januska. Brandon, how's it going, baby? Cool. All right, we got right next to him, Swaggy McSwaggyson, Phil. We call him
Wayne.
Wayne. What up, Wayne?
What up, Wayne?
Thanks for interning. We appreciate you. And that
Running
hat,
mic.
man. That's
Oof.
that Cam Newton swag
Yes,
right
solid.
there.
That's
Yeah,
a solid
love
Chicago.
it.
Yes.
Love it.
That was good styling.
Yep. And then right next to him is the bestest, the executive producer of the show, Andrew Valentine. What's up, Andrew?
Fantasy football thing. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah,
I hate this fucking week. I hate
Yeah.
fantasy football. I'm just kidding. I love it.
Yeah, it's been bad
It's a
lately.
love-hate relationship with me. That's how it goes.
It's true. It's true.
You know, it's like having that really crazy girlfriend that you know is crazy that is just going to make you miserable, but you seem to keep taking her back. And, hey, let's go out for burger and fries.
Whoa, what's going on over there?
No.
What's going on over there?
Nothing.
All right, as a reminder, you can follow the show on Twitter. DL, where can they follow the show?
That's super simple. Just type in tweet us FFG.
Close, at tweet FFG. Guys, if you have any questions on Twitter, you can use the hashtag AskUsFFG. You can also email your questions.
I got this one.
Where, DL?
Tweet us ffg@gmail.com. See, you threw me off, man.
No,
You threw me
you're wrong again.
What?
You can send your email at AskUsFFG@gmail.com.
Wow.
And if you have any voicemail questions, you can send those over at 708-655-4508. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. We provide this content to you for free. We just want to be out there. Help us help the algorithm. Smash that notification button. Please.
Yeah.
DL,
Yeah.
jam-packed show today.
Sure is.
How'd the week go for you?
Oh, it was another weird week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just crazy. Like, there were so many crazy upsets. I mean, honestly, who would have thought the Jags would have beaten the Bills?
Yeah, not me.
So if you had Josh Allen, man, it sucks.
Yeah, it sucked.
Even Matt Stafford.
Yeah, Matt Stafford.
He
didn't
laid
play that
it.
good
I
either,
mean,
yeah.
he got that garbage time touchdown, but hey, what are you gonna do? But Kittle and CMC came back this week. There was they said that they were going to be on a pitch count, and that literally was not the case at all. I'm going to go far as to say that Kittle was probably the best tight end, honestly, of this whole week. Like 21 points he got for me, depending on your scoring. But
Did you start him?
yeah. I didn't start him because I believe the hype that he was on a pitch count, and I went with Schultz, which, that was a horrible idea. But I figured, like, hey, I'd rather go with the tight end that isn't on a pitch count and is on a great offense with Dak. But, hey, I was wrong. And then, obviously, with the Bears game, I'm sorry, I'm going to touch on two major things. One, that touchdown that was called back, that was complete and utter BS.
Yep.
He was inside the box. Yep. That one really hurt, pissed me off. The taunting call, which I'm sure everybody and their mom is talking about this morning.
Yep.
But really it came down to not having discipline and not good coaching. What was it? Over 10 penalties, almost 100 yards that they gave up.
It was over 100 yards.
That's That's uncalled for. That is just embarrassing.
Yeah, there was a few late hits on fields which are just blatantly
Oh,
unacceptable. That karate kick by Marsh was cool, but looking at the sideline was unnecessary. And then he bumped Tony Correnti, the ref. I think it was the ref. He kind of backed up into him.
That ref bumped him, dude.
Yeah, ref let his emotions get the best of him. I feel like they're officiating based more on like emotions than actual actions, and that's kind of a problem. I don't know. It's really interesting to see. Sucks that we lost. Sucks that we're not going to have a first round.
But here's the
pick,
thing.
but
Here's
still.
the thing with the taunting bullshit,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It like changed the game.
It did.
You know, like, fine, I get it. If he's standing over the quarterback or if he's just like getting in somebody's face, all right,
Yep.
cool. The dude literally like looked at the sideline. The ref was like, "Well, that's taunting. Screw you guys." Like, anyways,
Yeah, it was.
That's all I
it
gotta
was
say
bad.
about that.
It was bad. In regards to my week, I had a monster week. I went 9-1 this week. I gotta really show you guys. I gotta share one of these days, like with my
Yeah.
actual numbers, so you guys can see. I'm not even kidding. 9-1. Among those 9 wins was a fantastic victory over my co-host over here, DL. DL, you all right? You feeling okay?
Collusion. No.
Yeah. So I did win a 12-pack of beer, craft beer. I will take that beer cold. Can't wait to try it. Maybe I'll do a review for it next show. But yeah, had
Hope
a
you like
monster week.
PBR.
Yeah. Well, I do like PBR. I actually don't mind it. I did have some monster weeks. I did lose Derrick Henry in a league, and I lost in the league that I lost Derrick Henry. So I don't know how that team's going to fare. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, it was a jam-packed week. Lots of awesome football. It was weird, honestly. A lot of the different scores.
It was a weird one.
Yeah.
I didn't have the best week, honestly. I think, in my leagues, I think I got like 4 wins. I kind of basically in 4 losses, right? But I'm still in the playoffs, so I still got hope. Still got hope. So hang in there. Even if I'm like knocking on the door, I think I'm going to come back. I got my 2 best guys coming in, so
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it happens. Let's get this show on the road.
All right. You know what? We're going to change things up. I got a trade for you, JC.
All right, time for a
All
grade
right.
the trade.
Grade the trade. Okay, so as JC alluded to, we were going head-to-head, and guess what? I was caught in a rock and a hard space this Sunday, right? So I had Kyle Murray, who actually did not play on Sunday, right? Kind of knew that ahead of time, so I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to rock with Tua because Tua looked like a good matchup, what have you. Sunday morning, he gets benched too because he like fractured his middle finger and he was like the emergency backup quarterback. Mind you, I got Tua on my last waiver wire because we have a limit. We can only do 5.
Yep.
So I'm just setting the table, guys. Sorry if this is taking longer than I thought. So I was either at that point, I was going to just roll the dice and hope that Murray played or try to get a quarterback, which I did. So I traded Emmanuel Sanders and Mark Ingram for Ryan Tannehill and Carlos Hyde. What do you think?
Emmanuel Sanders and Mark Ingram, the backup running back, for Ryan Tannehill and
Carlos Hyde.
So Carlos Hyde has limited value, probably just last week and maybe one more week, depending on how severe James Robinson's heel injury is. He didn't play. So do I like that trade? I mean, who's your other starting quarterback?
Tua.
Oh, but in general, you have Kyler Murray, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so really it's honestly super rental trade. So you gave up a starting wide receiver in Emmanuel Sanders, right? He was starting for you?
Yeah.
For 2 rentals for 1 week, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did it work for you this week?
No, it did not.
Well,
it totally sucked.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get the deal. The nature of the deal, you ran out of ads and you had to make a move and you had to start somebody just so you can remain competitive and not have to pay me a 12-pack. But in actuality, I mean, not the biggest fan. It sucks though that Tua was hurt and he was out like that. That does suck. That did hurt you. I did see that late scratch. He was down really late. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man. I mean, go ahead. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought they were jumping in here. No, honestly, it just taught me once again another lesson of this, of like save, if you do have that limit for waivers, save it until Sunday. Because obviously all this information came out Sunday morning before the games actually started. I did feel bad, but I wanted to get the points added because if I would have I lost either way, but if I would have just rolled out Murray, I wouldn't have gotten as many points, even though I lost. But that can come down to the wire when we're looking at like record and then points.
So I guess the real thing is, honestly, trade aside, having a limit to roster moves per week, I think, isn't the best.
Yeah, I think
league
it's
setting.
bogus.
I think it's bogus. I think you have a league setting on roster moves per week in leagues where you can daily stream. I'll give you an example in baseball. That way you don't add 10 pitchers and start 10 pitchers throughout the week. Or in basketball, that way you don't add 10 point guards just to get assists and points. In football, it's different. You really only get the 1 game per week, so it doesn't really make sense to have a limit on ads. So I think moving forward next year, let's eliminate that from the league.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to the commissioner about that. And guess what? I'm the commissioner.
Yeah.
So For those people in that league, we are not going to have waiver limits next year.
Yeah, it's going to change for sure. It's going to change
Suck
for
it.
sure. Speaking of changes, we got a lot of changes coming in fantasy football. We can't wait to let you know about this week's waiver wire ads. We can't wait to tell you about the injuries this week. A jam-packed show after a few brief messages.
Fox News, we've got your favorite team. Fox News, buy one today and see.
Do you wear t-shirts that don't fill you with happiness? Does your wardrobe evoke feelings of sadness and despair? Would you like to know where to get your new favorite t-shirt? You need to go to boxnuke.com. We have fun, cool, and comfortable t-shirts, tanks, and more. When you want to make a statement without saying a word, pick up your new favorite t-shirt at boxnuke.com.
Fox News.
Bring in the meat wagon. Woo!
Oh, man.
Tons of injuries yet again.
Yes.
So, Dr. Dustin, let us know about these injuries, man. Another crazy fantasy week.
It was, man. It really was. So first, before we dive into those actual injuries, let's dive into who's coming back from IR.
Ooh, okay.
right?
I like it.
This was huge. This blew up Twitter. Russell Wilson is coming back for Week 10.
Are you serious?
Week 10.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. The dude, the doctor actually said, what was his name? I forget his name. The doctor actually said that Russell Wilson took this so seriously about his rehab. Like, he was just so, mentally focused on getting back, and that he was actually absolutely amazed with Russell being back this week, Week 10. So, wow, that's definitely saving some teams' asses at this point.
Yeah.
So fire him up. Another guy coming back from IR, Mr. Michael Gallup, right?
Okay.
So he was actually close to returning last week, but they still kind of kept him on the sidelines. Something happened, but the Cowboys are going to get the Chiefs after a good, strong matchup. Gallup was a little bit of a forgotten man after he was injured in Week 1, but however, I really feel like he's going to be someone to stash. I wouldn't necessarily start him.
Okay.
I feel like he's in that 3-4 wide receiver range until we actually see what his identity is on the team. However, with CeeDee Lamb being kind of banged up and Amari Cooper, I feel like, once again, this is a guy that you want to stash.
Yeah, if anything happens to Amari or CeeDee Lamb at all the rest of the season, Michael Gallup will be elevated to a higher role. But for right now, he's a low-end wide receiver 3.
Yeah. As we alluded to this to our sit-start episode as well, too. CMC and George Kittle both came back this week.
Yep.
I already kind of blew it, but they were supposed to be on a pitch count. Wasn't the case at all. They let them rock and roll. CMC came in with 54 yards reception, 52 yards rushing, 4 receptions overall. And as I mentioned, I felt Kittle was probably the best tight end this week that I benched. So he received 101 yards, 6 receptions, and a TD. So I'm just glad I have them both back. I feel like I can catch up and hopefully make the playoffs.
Hopefully. Yep.
Heading over to those injuries, man, here we go. Trevor Lawrence suffered a low ankle sprain in the first half, but returned to the game. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, they're saying that he'll be good to go for this coming week, so he'll be fine.
Zack Moss out with a concussion. Devontae Booker suffered a hip injury.
Oh.
So kind of in the Alex Collins kind of thing, but I think he'll be fine. T.Y. Hilton is still in the concussion protocol.
Still.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
it's
2 weeks.
crazy,
That's
man.
a
Like,
bad
I
concussion.
really had high hopes. If you guys have been watching, I was like, yeah, T.Y., but like he just can't get on that field. Sam Darnold got an MRI on his shoulder. If he can't go, obviously P.J. Walker will get that start. Coaches say that Sam Darnold is actually day-to-day.
And real quick, I want to say a big thank you to Matt Rule for choosing Sam Darnold over Justin Fields. Thank you, Matt Rule. I appreciate you.
Yeah. We're going to go with Zach Wilson. Actually, he's supposed to be back at practice for the Jets.
Okay.
So, but I'm really hoping he doesn't play because Mike White, I think, is the guy.
Yeah, he might be better. We don't know.
And I think he elevates the
better.
players because if you notice, like Michael Carter had kind of a clunker on Thursday, but I don't think it was really his fault. I felt like it was more because the third string quarterback came in and just messed mess everything up. So hopefully this elevates Michael Carter. I'm hoping because I have him. But we'll get into where we're going to put him on Friday.
For the Cardinals, Chase Edmonds revealed that he had a high ankle sprain. Didn't look too good. I'm glad it's only an ankle sprain because I thought it could have been a break or something worse. But it is a high ankle sprain, so we'll let you know what the ad is there a little bit later in the show. Also, for the same team, Kyler Murray is still dealing with an ankle.
Ankles, man.
Yeah, man. That man, everyone's just spraining ankles, man.
Ankles and quads.
Yeah, tons of them. Get hydrated, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Jeez. But I feel like Kyler Murray should be a go for his next start.
Thank you, Jesus.
They were being pretty hesitant with him, just as a precaution. But he should be good.
But let's talk about this. Arizona is what, 8-1 now?
Yep.
Even with Colt McCoy coming in, they pull up the upset against the 49ers. Not saying the 49ers are like this great defense. I mean, they have a good defense, but I was like, oh my God, they're 8-1.
Yeah, they destroyed them.
I tried to tell you guys about Colt McCoy, and you guys brushed it off like it was nothing on Friday.
Hey, but he wasn't all that.
You guys
he wasn't all that. They ran their asses off.
Yeah, he only went for 15 points fantasy-wise.
It was
Did
Connor.
did he not do well at least though in the game?
Quarterback-wise?
I
Serviceable,
think-
yeah. Serviceable,
I
I'll
think
give you that.
Connor and Edmonds were the ones that really did all the work.
Well, yeah, of course.
Colt McCoy
but
was just managing.
I'm just saying
He could be the water
managed the
boy.
game well.
I can manage the game well, too. Just not fantasy.
Yeah, no, he was solid. I don't think he placed in the top 10 fantasy-wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
He's counting,
14. 14th. He was the 14th best quarterback. Again, he had 15 points. So he was solid. He was serviceable. If you ran him out there instead of Josh Allen, you would have probably done better. But, yeah. With that, another injury to the Cardinals.
Man, these Cardinals.
Yeah, man. DeAndre Hopkins still has a hamstring. It wouldn't surprise me if he stayed out another week just as a precaution, just to make sure that he's good to go because this is a playoff team. Fantasy-wise, guys, super important. Injuries aside, you have to think about it. When a team is in the playoff hunt or they're trying to vie for the playoffs, they're going to start all their studs, always.
Yeah.
But when a team is ahead like the Cardinals are, when they're 8-1, later on in the fantasy playoffs, they're going to start sitting their stars just so that they don't get hurt. So keep that in mind. Think about that later on. You got to start thinking if you're doing really well on your fantasy team and you're high in the standings. Think about the players that you have and their schedule and their real life implications because it will affect you come fantasy playoff time.
Oh, absolutely. And just to kind of piggyback off that, like, I really think Murray would have played last week if they were like...
If they needed the win.
Yeah, if they needed the win, there was like at that 500 point or they're like one win away to actually take over the actual division themselves, he would have played. Yeah. So, I mean, I think they did what Dallas did last week where they just kind of like, all right, man, we're good. Even if we get this loss, we'll take it. Rest up because we need you at the end of the season. So.
Yep. And then real quick, Mike White should be back week 10 to help that Jets offense.
Thank God.
I just think he's mentally a little bit more ahead.
Dude, he crushed it. He got 400 yards when he came in.
Yeah, I like how we have a picture of Zach Wilson instead of Mike White. Gotta love it. Got to love it. All right, guys. It's time for Waiver Wire Wednesday.
Woo!
As a reminder, the upcoming players are 50% rostered in Yahoo leagues.
Yes.
We're going to let you know who to add for your matchups.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, I'm going to start it off with the running backs. This guy is known by all Bears fans, maybe not for good reasons, but he was our running back at one point. Jordan Howard, 38% rostered. We kind of talked about this last week. It was weird that like they just elevate him from the practice squad, but there's for good reasons. Last week Howard had one of the biggest benefits, right? I think what was it? He
Two
saw
touchdowns, I believe.
2 touchdowns, 71 yards, 17 carries. So obviously, I think this is a guy you can add and even start. Especially with the Eagles. The only thing I would say is kind of going off what JC has said in the past. The Eagles' running game in general, they don't do a lot of it. Am I right? Or
No, you're right.
okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Cool. The next guy, which I was shocked, Devontae Freeman, 20% rostered.
Yeah. He looks like the lead guy in Baltimore.
He does. And he still looks good, man. He runs violently, and he's up there in age a little bit. What is he, 31, 32?
Something like that. He's up there, but he still has that explosion, that quick first step is still there. He led the backfield with 13 rushes for 78 yards.
Yeah.
So, I think he might be the guy. In Baltimore, they're going to feed the hot hand, whoever it is. It just seems like Devonta Freeman has a step on the competition there.
Yeah. Even when I saw Bell come in, he didn't look like
No, he got a key first down, but outside of that, he didn't really do much. Yeah.
So if you're targeting anyone in that backfield, which I understand if you're kind of hesitant, Devontae Freeman is your guy.
All right, let's jump over to the Jets. Ty Johnson, who's 13% rostered. He had 6 touches in Week 9, but he did find the end zone. Ty Johnson is a guy who, I don't know, he's going to give you good weeks. He's going to give you bad weeks, but Ty Johnson is a solid running back, especially in a PPR league. He does catch a lot of balls. What did he have? 11 fantasy points?
Yeah, that's his 4th straight game with at least 11. Hey.
Solid flex play.
Those points add up real quick, so he would be a great flex for sure.
Jumping over to the Patriots. For the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson has still been solid.
Which you mentioned before. You mentioned him before a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson does have some value. He did rush for 62 yards on 10 carries. He looked like the best running back, honestly. He looked really good, especially in passing situations. He caught a few balls. Looked solid. I believe Damian Harris got
He exited the game,
hurt, right?
He exited the game with an actual head injury.
Oh, wow.
So it's not good in football.
It's not good. So monitor the situation with Damian. I think he should be fine, but you never know. Ramondre seems to be really eating touches in that backfield and getting more and more. So keep an eye out on that. Ramondre Stevenson, a solid flex play this upcoming week.
For sure. Now we're going to head over to those wide receivers, which it's kind of fun we have him on our list because we told you to cut him. But now,
Brandon Ayuk,
we're telling you to bring him back. He's only 48% roster, so he's right under that cusp. But, hey, he had a hell of a game last week.
He seems to be coming back on. I know last year he looked really good.
Yeah.
And he looked really bad at the beginning of this year. He just wasn't part of the offense. It was all Deebo Samuel, and it was all the running game. Now, finally, Brandon Ayuk seems to have returned. I don't know if he's going to be the wide receiver 2 that people drafted him as initially, but he'll be a solid flex play. If people dropped him, go out and add him. Brandon Ayuk will be solid for you the rest of the way.
And I would say this, too, because Deebo Sanders is still dealing with like a calf.
Yeah, but he's still a wide receiver 1.
I just feel like Brandon's going to get a couple targets.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I could see that.
That's
I could see that. Jumping over to the Browns, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Now that OBJ is gone, I think he's going to get a lot of the target share.
Oh, absolutely. He's 30% rostered. And really, here's the thing about him, right? I would be very
hesitant.
I would look at the matchups.
Okay.
Like, he's one of those guys that you keep on the bench, and depending on the
high-scoring game, maybe.
Where he's going to get that's when you throw him in.
That makes sense.
But he wouldn't be like a week-to-week starter.
Yeah.
But, hey, if you're desperate, which I'm desperate at wide receivers.
Yeah, you traded away Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so I'm going to take a shot at him.
Let me give you a name that I think might help you instead of Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Sure.
Elijah Moore. Okay, so it seems like when Mike White is the quarterback, he seems to throw 35 times a game.
Okay.
So if Mike White does start, I like Elijah Moore. He's 27% rostered. He did go 7 of 8 on targets. He caught 7 out of the 8 targets that he received for 84 yards. And how many touchdowns? 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Really explosive wide receiver. I'm a fan. I think the breakout is finally happening.
The only thing I would say to that,
Sure.
right, is Corey Davis. Right?
He was out. Good call.
Yeah, because Davis has been sidelined since week 7 due to an hip issue.
Yep.
Obviously, Elijah Moore and Crowder came up over the last 2 games, right? Yep. So with Davis back, you're going to see those volumes to Elijah Moore
go down for sure.
Go down.
Sure.
You know what? I'm going to go against you in that and say if Corey Davis is out there, which he is, because he's on the Jets and the Jets suck, and I don't know why anyone would really
do a show bet that Elijah Moore outscores Corey Davis?
Oh, yes. I want redemption.
Right,
I'm going to do it.
6-pack bet that Elijah Moore outscores Corey Davis.
I got to talk to my wife. She's going to wonder why I'm buying all this beer.
Hey, I mean, I like the bet for you, but might as well do the show bet.
Yeah, might as well. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Make me feel better.
Yeah.
I lost. The Bears lost. Oh, man. All right. Let's get back on track.
All right, for tight ends, this tight end killed the Bears. I believe he had 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. The reincarnation of Heath Miller, Pat Freiermuth.
Muth.
Yeah, he's 18% rostered. DL, why should people add him?
Because he's awesome. Yeah. That's why. I mean, really, if you think about it, Ebron is out. This is a rookie guy, and he got I know he got 1 touchdown for sure. I'm not sure if he got 2 because I was crying in my hands. But this guy is legit. Like they're getting him involved a lot in the game script. Even besides the touchdowns, he's catching everything. He has great hands. This is a guy I would definitely add for sure, or even stash. I have Kittle.
Yep.
So I mean, honestly, like I need a backup. Because, it's the way it goes. So, yeah, go after him. He's the only tight end that we're really excited about. So, there it is. We're going to flip over to quarterbacks. I'm going to talk about this first guy because he is the man. Justin Fields, man.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm a Bears fan. I bought his jersey. I was that guy. I was like a homer about it. But he really took a step last night.
Yeah,
I mean, some of those throws that he went with Komet looked great.
Mm-hmm.
That last series in the fourth quarter, I've been talking about it. Everyone probably knows what I'm about to say. But when he threw to A-Rob downfield and then to Mooney, and they scored within 2 minutes or under, my heart was just overjoyed. This guy is legit. I think the coaches are horrible. # fire Nagy. And I think that, honestly,
love it.
Just keep doing it because hopefully Virginia's grandsons can read the tweets to
You
her.
want that up for the whole show then? You just want to make that
Seriously.
the emphasis for the show?
I'm okay with that. JC, are you okay with that?
I mean, I'm there now, guys. I was a Nagy supporter, and I am not. So
No.
Real quick on Justin Fields, he did
Yes.
finish as the 10th best quarterback this
10th?
week. Yeah, Justin Herbert led the way with 36 fantasy points, followed by Lamar Jackson at 35, Matt Ryan at 32, Josh Johnson, who they called off his couch a few weeks ago. Josh Johnson finished with 28 fantasy points.
Holy
I don't believe he's
shnikes.
going to be a guy to go ahead and add.
No.
It was just more of a fill-in quarterback. Once Mike White comes back, he will be the guy there. And then once Zach Wilson feels healthy, then he'll take over.
And honestly, Josh Johnson is a crybaby. I'm sorry. He was on the side. He was like,
He did complain a lot.
Yeah.
Garoppolo finished with 24. Wentz with 23. Cousins with 21, who I did recommend. Kirk Cousins, by the way, last week, and he did play well. Teddy Bridgewater finished with 21. Dak did not have a great game, but he did finish with 18.
Did horrible.
Yeah, 18 fantasy points. And then finally, our boy Justin Fields with 17 fantasy points. Honestly, the great eraser is his rushing ability. If he runs, he's going to have the value of a quarterback and a running back. So keep that in mind. Just a guy that he's figuring it out, guys. He's going to have really high weeks, really low weeks. But I think as the weeks progress, I think he's going to average anywhere between 17 and 22 points.
I think he's a really good option in those bye weeks.
For sure.
Like, he's just one of those guys that, a lot of people aren't going to target that much.
Mm-hmm.
But when your buy comes up for the guy you did actually draft, I think he's going to be a really good fill-in for sure.
Another quarterback we're going to recommend to you, and I've been recommending this quarterback for how many weeks now?
I mean, if you haven't been watching our show,
like 6 weeks. Honestly, we should get sponsored. But Taylor Heineke, hey man, Taylor, if you want to jump on the show, we could do a Zoom call.
Seriously, we'll interview you, man. We like what you're doing.
Yeah. Big fan of Taylor Heineke. I know head coach Ron Rivera did come out and say he's going to be the guy moving forward, so it's not going to be Fitzmagic. Yeah. But Taylor Heineke is 31% rostered in Yahoo leagues. He's the head quarterback of the Washington football team. He just seems to have an awesome connection with the wide receivers, specifically Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, he's coming back this week too.
Yep.
And once again, this is one of those, I'm not saying dump like Matthew Stafford because you're all butthurt that he sucked on Sunday night. But once again, this is somebody you're going to want to target with these buys coming up. I mean, we're not out of the whole buys at all. So
Speaking of the buy, so I wanted to let you know the teams that are on buy. The Chicago Bears, our Bears, are on buy. So we're going to have to live with a loss for the next 2 weeks, which sucks, but it is what it is. The Cincinnati Bengals, who had a terrible week this past week, they are on buy. Hopefully they can get everything fixed because Joe Burrow did not look good. I think he put up less than 5 points. Am I wrong over there, Andrew?
Yeah,
How did Joe Burrow
kind of
do
quiet
for you?
over there. It's your boy.
I got nothing on that. I really can't.
Oh,
I have no defense on it. They played bad.
They played garbage against the Browns.
I'll eat my crow. I'll eat my words on that. It is what happened. I thought it was gonna be different. Just it is what it is. I'll accept it for what it is. Not happy with it, but I'll do it.
Wait, wasn't there a Subway bet or something?
Oh, there was. What
was
was the
that
Subway
bet?
I was
bet?
hoping nobody would remember that.
Yep.
I remember everything.
Yep.
I'm like an elephant, bro.
What was the Subway bet? Joe Burrow and who else?
I forgot who it was.
Kurt?
We'd have to.
Kirk Cousins, who put 21 points up.
Yes, that's why I owe you another 6-pack.
That's right.
But Oh my God, JC, you're getting like beer and subs.
And subs, baby. Let's
What
go.
the
That's
heck?
right, baby. That's right. All right, real quick. Also on by. So the Bears, the Bengals, the New York Football Giants are on by, and finally the lowly Houston Texans, which shouldn't really affect too many people because they kind of suck. But yeah, guys. We received a ton of mailbag questions to our emails, some texts, some voicemails. We can't wait to share those with you after these brief messages. Welcome back, DL.
Yes.
What a crazy week, man. It's been a good show so far.
Yeah, great show.
Yeah, one of our favorite portions of our show is our mailbag question. Guys, we have a ton of questions. We can't wait to get to them. DL, first question comes from Timmy in Glen Ellen.
Timmy!
Timmy writes, Michael Pittman has been on fire this month. Can he sustain this? Or is the best behind him for the rest of the season?
Honestly, like with Pittman, I think he can, honestly, because, even with T.Y. Hilton, like kind of on the bench or whatever, people are kind of worried that if T.Y. Hilton comes back, he's going to take all the targets. I think he'll take a little bit of the target shares, but let's get him healthy first. Regardless, him and Wentz have a really great tandem going, great relationship. I don't really. It may go down a little bit, but I don't think he's going to be like done.
Yeah.
So I would hang on to him.
For me, I think he continues to have really big games the rest of the way, to be quite honest with you. He's the Colts' #1 receiver with or without T.Y. Hilton. To me, as long as Wentz is under center, I think he's a strong wide receiver too, upper echelon wide receiver too. He's the guy who leads the entire team with 20 more receptions than everybody else. So, he's
the guy. He's the go-to guy for the he's the #1, I would say.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I honestly expect him to keep playing well. So if there's a team out there that's willing to move him, I would go out and get Michael Pittman. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
He's big. He's 6'4". He's fast. He's strong, athletic.
And I'm
Kid looks
telling
really
you, the
good.
Colts are gelling, dude.
Yep.
They are really starting to get it together.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's an exciting offense to be a part of for sure.
Yep. DL, you want to take our next question?
Yeah, our next question actually calls from Fishbowl Sheen.
Fishbowl Sheen. What you
Yeah.
got, Fishbowl Sheen?
Fishbowl asks, if you had to roster a Texas running back for the rest of season, who would it be?
Okay, so if you had to roster a Texans running back. Okay, cool.
Texas.
Yeah, Texans.
Yeah, but they're from Houston, so it's Texas too.
Well, I guess, but Dallas is
I win.
there. A few other
You know what?
guys.
Let me have this.
All right. So for me, honestly, man, it's a crap show there. But I will say this: in Week 8, David Johnson led the way with the most touches. In Week 9, Philip Lindsay led the way with the most touches. But the differentiating factor, Philip Lindsay.
Oh.
The differentiating factor between the two is that David Johnson can actually catch passes, and they like to use him in the passing game.
Yeah.
So I think that is the reason why I'd rather have David Johnson. I think no matter what happens, a flex play is the highest you're going to get out of this backfield. I don't think you're going to get anything higher than that. I just don't think the team's any good, to be quite honest with you. They don't really run the ball well, and they don't really run the ball often. So,
Yeah, I'm in total agreement. Honestly, when Ingram got out, I went and grabbed Johnson. Yep. I was like, all right, cool. This now there's only 2 running backs to deal with.
Instead of 4. Rex Burkhead's still a name in there.
Fucking Rex
Makes
Burkhead.
no sense. But
yeah, no, I totally agree. I think David Johnson is the RB1 there. But yeah, I wouldn't be excited about this. I absolutely agree. If you have to start him flex, and I think you could find somebody better to flex, honestly.
Yeah, gotcha. DL, we're going to jump over to one of our other favorite segments.
Yes!
Studs and Duds.
Woo!
DL.
Let's go!
Yeah, I think I've been kind of on fire the last few weeks. I think for the last 2 weeks I called Jonathan Taylor, and then the week
Oh, you
before
did.
that I called another.
Who was your dud, though?
I think Deontay Johnson was one of my duds a few weeks back who didn't. They blew up in my face. But, yeah, I looked pretty solid. I don't know. But for this upcoming week, Week 10, DL, who is your stud?
Yeah, this is going to be kind of easy, right, guys? I've been talking about this guy for 5 weeks now. Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh.
I think against Arizona's run funnel, he's going to feast. I think he's going to do really, really well. I think he's going to look like everything you hope for, and he's going to finish the game. I'm going to say it. He's going to finish the game.
Okay.
Put that positive vibes out there.
Okay. I mean, I like McCaffrey. Everyone does, but he didn't look like the guy we're used to seeing last
He's
week.
knocking the rust off, bro.
He's knocking the rust off. I think he'll be solid. I think that's a good call. Great job by you.
Thank you.
You know, saying the number 1 running back in the draft is
I
going to be a dud.
you know?
Yeah. Who's your dud of the week?
Oh, man, this is going to be a shocker to all you guys out there. My dud of the week is the entire Lions defense.
Oh,
They suck, and I think they're going to continue to suck. And
way to be aggressive and Mr. Conservative over here.
Yeah, honestly, the whole defense. I don't think anyone's good on that team. You know what? I'm going to throw a 6-pack bet.
Okay.
I bet the defense gives up at least 1 touchdown.
I mean, of course, that's. I think the common amount of points that an NFL team usually scores is at least 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're going to give up a touchdown. I don't even know what the bet would be. But how about this? I'll do my stud against your stud. My stud of this week is going to be Najee Harris against that dud
defense.
That dud defense. How do you feel about that? Christian McCaffrey against Najee Harris.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, I'm going to do it because every time I don't do it, everyone's like, oh, I really want to do the bet.
Hey,
So-
I think it's a solid bet all the way around.
I think it's fun.
McCaffrey is the more talented running back, but Najee Harris has been on a tear. I think he's going to finish as a top 8 running back. He's a stud, man.
Oh, yeah, Najee Harris is awesome.
Looked
like,
really good
just
against the
watching
Bears.
him last night, I
Yeah.
was like, wow, I missed the boat on not drafting him.
Yeah.
He's awesome. And his backstory, I mean, they kept talking about his backstory. He was homeless.
Yeah.
And, even when he was drafted, he was at the shelter. He upgraded the shelter. Like, that guy is just solid, man.
Awesome guy.
He's a great player and great person.
Like to root for players like
Yeah,
that for sure.
for sure.
So Najee Harris, my stud of the week. And my dud of the week, I'll give you a real name here. Mike Williams.
What?
Of the San Diego Chargers. Yeah.
Wow.
Is it San Diego? I think it's LA now, right?
Wait, wasn't this the guy we had, we colored him? And,
Yeah,
he was
doing
like the
score
number
like
one.
this,
Yeah, and he
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like
So I think he's
okay.
gonna be a dud this week. He's been a dud the last few weeks, simply because he's been hurt. I
Yeah.
think he's fighting through something.
He is.
So I would not start him, to be quite
And
honest
I'm
with you.
excited about it. You know why? Because
Why?
I had Keenan Allen.
Oh, see, and he's finally coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a
so-
hell of a game.
Yeah.
JC, so you're saying that he's gonna completely just miss the bet on this one? Or is that what you're saying?
I'm saying he
Yes.
goes for less than 8 points. How's that sound?
I say he shits the bed.
Okay, all right.
Not even miss it.
I was surprised when you had this. So
Hey,
I know. It's kind of funny that he's saying this is
fantasy
dud
football.
yeah.
when, what was it?
he's hurt.
2 weeks ago.
He wasn't hurt 2 weeks
I'm
ago.
hoping
He's
I'm
hurt.
kind of hoping then Keenan Allen has the game of his life. Then, if that's the case.
Yeah, and I got
And
him.
Jared
So
Cook.
I'm okay with that.
So
Okay, so on Halloween 2 weeks ago, he went for 19 total yards.
Wait.
That's it. That's
wait,
it.
wait. I'm sorry. I thought this was studs and duds, not I was wrong.
No. It's
Did I
not
get
about
that-
I'm wrong. I
Did I
think
get
he's
that
going to be a
mixed up?
dud. So let me continue. Then on November 7th, which was this past week, he only had 2 receptions for 58 yards. I think he's hurt. I think he's dealing with something. So he's a dud.
You know what? I'm with you, man. I just think it's, just kind of funny how he was this great guy 2 weeks ago, and now he's just
Dude, he's
trash.
ranked top 6 at wide receiver on the year. So I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing. I totally agree. I think Mike Williams is dealing with something. They alluded to it. I mean, even in his past seasons, this guy has never really stayed healthy for long, right? This was probably his best season, but, I mean, he's just injury prone. I think he managed it a lot better this year, but I think it's honestly catching up with him, and I'm okay with that because Keenan Allen, let's go, baby.
You think Keenan Allen has a huge week?
What were they playing? Vikings? I don't think it's huge, but I think it's back to the numbers that you were hoping he would get, especially where you drafted him.
Okay.
That's
I like
what I
that.
think.
I like that. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us today.
Wow.
Yeah, we're super excited. On Friday, we'll have another Start Sit episode.
Yes, and we're going to be in the same room together.
We are. Luckily, we'll be in the same room together. Should
And
be
we'll
an
go
awesome
live.
Show. Yeah, we'll go live. So, again, smash those notification buttons. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Again, it really helps us. It really helps us. DL, if people have any questions on Twitter, where can they follow us?
At TweetFFG.
Correct.
Nailed it.
Exactly. Nailed it.
Yes.
And then if you have any questions, the trending hashtag that we like to use so that we can find those questions, use the hashtag AskUsFFG. DL, if they have any email questions, we did get a few email questions, but we would like more.
Yeah.
What email questions? What's the email they can send it to?
Super simple. AskUsFFG@gmail.com.
And then those voicemails, please
Love
send those
voicemails.
We love those. We'd honestly rather have those than words that we have to
Seriously.
read, but send those voicemails
Make it
over.
easy on us.
Let's keep them short. Keep them under 30 seconds. That'd be fantastic. Let us know your name, where you're from, and your question. Those voicemail questions, you can send those over to us by calling 708-655-4508.
And remember, hashtag Fire Nagy.
Fire Nagy. Can we put that up? There it is, baby. There it is. But as always, guys, that's going to do it for us today. We hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll catch you guys bright and early on Friday. Actually, what's the time? What time is the show on Friday?
3 p.m. Central Standard.
3 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday.
Yes.
We can't wait. My name's JC. For my co-host, DL, and the boys in the studio, we'll catch you guys on Friday.
Great show, guys.
Yeah, solid. I like the outro. It's got to be better. It's got to be